atheists. These are people that don't believe that there's an upper force. And it's not necessarily that they don't believe that there is an upper force, but the way they put it, prove there is. And I'll believe. It's not that they're principally against it. But they say, we don't see him, we don't know who or what that is. And they don't believe what they don't see. And on this show, we'd like to examine the matter. Does God exist? Is it possible to prove that God or some upper force exist? And this is the question that we like to open with. Is it possible to prove that God exists? It is. No problem. We discover the upper force that exists in nature by the wisdom of Kabbalah. We can actually say that the science that we discover from generation to generation, and especially in recent generations, all of science is directing us at the understanding that we're living in an integral world, a round world, where everything's interconnected. A congruent system that's sustained by laws, where eventually all of these laws, they unite into one law, where they're all interconnected. And you can't get out of this system, meaning everything is included in this one system. We don't know the global laws of this system, because it includes inside itself everything that we learn about our small planet, of course, and also about the universe and beyond the universe, where every day we're opening new horizons, collecting more and more information that we have to arrange somehow, but in the meantime, we can't. But from the little that we have discovered, from the little that we do know, we think that we probably exist in a single system, a single network of laws that are constant, absolute, that are all in all aimed at keeping the system in order to bring it probably to a certain state that will become revealed in the future. Who knows when? Maybe soon, maybe in a few billions of years, and maybe altogether, regardless of time, like we're discovering now, according to Einstein's science and so on, that altogether it's above time, space, motion, above all those changes and laws of physics that we discover as human beings, that we are all in all small individual creatures within this universe. And the past few decades have disclosed the nothingness of our approach, of our ability to attain this vast nature. Suddenly, we discover such black holes, such phenomena, astronomic phenomena, that we have no ability to know, do we exist in one universe, or are there many such structures? Because all in all, we can see up to a certain limit. We have much to ask about, but the question is not about that. The question is, are we capable, along with our scientific limitedness, can we breach beyond this limitedness and see the system of nature in a more complete and round way, form. And here we see that from almost 6,000 years ago, there were such people that started attaining and researching nature, but not by instruments like mathematics, physics, telescopes, microscopes, and so on, but by trying to turn themselves into different creatures. What do you mean? Meaning they came to the conclusion that all in all, man is an egoistic being that thinks only about himself, and therefore his entire attitude towards nature is egoistic. He's only thinking about how to enjoy what he feels, and therefore he is lacking the other half of nature. That if I accept everything, I receive everything within my will to receive, within my ego, and only that which is pleasant or unpleasant to my egoistic perception, this is what I identify, then I'm very limited in my perception of reality. So let's at least invert ourselves into the opposite of what we are. What for? In order to investigate the other nature that also exists. We see that the still, vegetative, animate, and human beings, the world that we see, where our entire world is divided into these 4 degrees of reality, they all live by the power of absorption, by the power of the ego, that they draw near what's good for them and reject what's bad for them. Can we reach an anti-world? Like today astronomers say that there is anti-matter and so on. To be able to see in a way that if in nature there's always plus and minus, yin and yang, all these different forms of in favor and against and so on, let's invert ourselves into the opposite form because we perceive reality. If we invert ourselves, not to perceive in the will to enjoy, the reason for which we're limited in our perception, but to the opposite desire, not to receive but to give, to emit from ourselves and outwards, then we'll be able to see the opposite nature. Let's see.